Hello students, today we are going to start the chapter Nutrition in Animals. Okay, we have studied in the previous video the nutrition in plants, and that was what? Plants are autotrophic in nature, isn't it? They can prepare their own food, isn't it? They can prepare the simplest form of the food, that is the glucose, and they can carry out their life activities. But what about the animals? They can't prepare their own food. They are heterotrophic in nature, isn't it? They are taking the food from the what? Plants, isn't it? So what happens if they are taking in the food from the plants, they are taking it in the what? Complex form, isn't it? Like if we are talking about carbohydrate, carbohydrate is the complex form of glucose, glucose is the simplest form, isn't it? So what happened? This complex food has to be broken, isn't it? So first we should talk about, okay, what is a nutrition? What does this nutrition word only means? Okay, so nutrition includes what? The food requirement, okay, the mode of intake of food and utilization of digested food in the body. Okay, so it means first it needs the food from others, isn't it? So there is a food requirement for the animals. Okay, it takes the food from the what? Obtains the food from the plants, and some even the bigger ones can even feed on some small organisms also, isn't it? Now, mode of intake of food, how they are holozoic or saprotrophic, okay, or parasitic in nature, because they are what? Animals are showing what? Heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Okay, now at the last it is what? Utilization of once they have taken the food, animals have taken the food, okay, what happens? The food is digested, the complex food is broken down into simpler form, okay, and then that simpler form, the digested food, is used in our body, okay, for what? Doing the activities for growth and repair, okay. Now, so glucose, if we talk about, glucose is the simplest form, isn't it? Plants also, when they prepare their food, okay, first they prepare glucose only, and when it is in excess, when the food is in excess, it is stored in the form of starch, and that starch is the complex form. Okay, so when we are getting food from the plants, we are getting in the starch carbohydrate form, okay, and that is a complex form which has to be broken into simpler form to obtain what? Glucose. Okay, now what is digestion? Digestion is breakdown of complex substances into simpler form. I said to you what? That carbohydrate is in the complex form. Protein, it is in the complex form. Okay, fats, they are in the complex form. They have to be broken into simpler forms so that our body can use it for different purposes like growth and repair. Okay, now, so what are the basic steps of nutrition in animals? If we are saying we are taking complex food, okay, so there will be different steps which is included in digestion so that that complex food can be broken down into the simpler form, okay, can be used by the body, and the undigested food can be given out. So the first step is what? Ingestion. When we say ingestion, ingestion is just taking in of the food. Suppose you are served the dinner, what you do? You take that chapati and the vegetable and put it in your mouth. Just taking that food and keeping it in your mouth, putting it into your mouth is what? Ingestion. Okay, now second is digestion. Okay, as soon as the food is kept inside the mouth, what happens here? Partial digestion of carbohydrate starts. Okay, suppose if you have eaten chapati, chapati consists of what? Carbohydrate. Okay, so or rice, it consists of what? Carbohydrate. In the mouth, partial digestion of carbohydrate takes place. It means carbohydrates are partially simplified in the mouth. Okay, and this is done with the help of the saliva. Okay, and this saliva consists of an enzyme known as ptyalin, okay, or it's salivary amylase. Okay, this enzyme only acts on that carbohydrate and gets it partially digested. Okay, now after that the food, what happens? It enters the what? Food pipe. Okay, from the food pipe it goes into the stomach, and then it goes into the small intestine, and then it goes into the large intestine, and then it is given out. Okay. Now here digestion in detail we will be studying later, but brief idea I have given you. Okay. Once the food is digested, okay, it is absorbed by the blood capillaries, okay, and it reaches to different cells, okay, and in different cells you see that you have studied in respiration, these digested food, after what digestion it is absorbed, and what happen, oxidation of food takes place with the help of oxygen which we breathe in. Okay, so in this absorption the digested food is absorbed by the blood capillaries and it reaches the different cells of the body for oxidation. Okay, now next is assimilation. Once the food is absorbed, it goes to the different cells, and yes, naturally it is now here, it is used, this energy is used for doing different work and for growth and repair of the body. Okay, but after digestion what happens, some substances, some undigested food is left over. It reaches from the large intestine, it goes out, and it is, what happens, it is egested out. Okay, it is given out of the body because it is not required. Okay, so egestion is just giving out of undigested food, okay, is known as what, egestion. Okay, now we have studied about the steps of the digestion, isn't it? Now we will be studying what, nutrition in amoeba. Okay, so amoeba, when I am saying, it is the simplest organism. Okay, can't prepare its own food. It belongs to what? The group animals only. They are protozoans, okay, consisting of single cell. Okay, the body structure is also very simple, consisting of nucleus, small vacuoles, and cell membrane. Okay, and so the body is also simple. It consists of only one cell, and in that cell itself, all the steps of digestion, nutrition are carried out, like ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, and egestion. Okay, so when we are talking about amoeba, they feed on small microorganisms. Okay, like bacteria. Okay, some diatoms, some simple microorganisms found in the lakes. Actually, they are mainly found where? In water bodies or the ditches. Okay, this amoeba. So what all small microorganisms are present in that, this amoeba takes in that. Okay, so this amoeba, the mode of nutrition is what? Holozoic in nature. When I am saying holozoic, means what? It is taking in the solid food, okay, and enzymes are acting on it, and digestion takes place. Okay, so that type of nutrition is known as what? Holozoic nutrition. Okay, this amoeba, when we are saying, it doesn't have any particular body shape. Why? Because they take out pseudopodia. Pseudopodia is what? They pseudo means what? False. Podia means feet. Okay, so pseudopodia is what? Finger-like projection which is produced by the amoeba in order to move and in order to capture their food. Okay, they don't have any opening like mouth or anything in amoeba. Okay, they take the food from the body surface only, and they ingest out, give out also through the body surface only. Okay, so when we are seeing about nutrition in amoeba, okay, we see what this amoeba can be of any shape, no shape, okay, because they produce what? Finger-like projections known as pseudopodia. Pseudopodia is nothing but what? False feet. Okay, so what happens, as soon as the amoeba sees any food particle, what happens? It encircles it with the help of what? Pseudopodia. This is what? The food particle. This is the nucleus. These are small vacuoles which are found in what? Amoeba's body, and this is its membrane, and here what is present? The cytoplasm. Okay, so now in the first step is what? Ingestion, isn't it? So first step, it circulates or it surrounds the food particle, and as the result the food particle enters the amoeba's body. Okay. Now here the food in the food vacuole is digested with the help of what? Digestive enzymes. Okay. And as the result, once the food is digested, this, okay, what happens? Which process takes place? That is what? The absorption, isn't it? Absorption process takes place. Okay. In this, what happens? The digested food is absorbed by the body. Okay. And once it is absorbed by the body, next process is what? Assimilation, isn't it? In this assimilation, what happens? It is used by the body, amoeba to what? For its growth and repair, isn't it? And as the result, it becomes larger in size. Okay. And rest of the food is stored also. Okay. Now in case of this here, last is what? Digestion. In this digestion, what happens? When the food is being digested, okay, some undigested food is also present, but it is in a very microscopic form. Okay. So what happens? Once the food is considerably, the undigested food is considerably accumulated, okay, what happens? It goes out through the body surface, only through the cell membrane, okay, outside, and it is adjusted out, and this is what? The process of digestion. Okay. So I said to you all, explained to you all, the first ingestion, isn't it? Second is what? Digestion, absorption, assimilation and digestion. Okay. So this is all for today. Good day. Take care.